The signal came without warning. It was not loud, not bright, but it reached far. It moved through deep space, past stars and black holes, past dead worlds and silent moons. It moved in a pattern like a message, but the meaning was not clear. Many thought it was just a lost sound, an echo of something old. But the Council of Species did not think so. They held a meeting in the Great Hall on the planet Voller. The hall was filled with many beings. Tall, short, thin, round, with wings, tails, or many eyes. They all watched the center where the signal played again and again. It had no voice, no name, only a rhythm, like a slow heartbeat. A scout leader named Joro stood and spoke. He said the signal came from a planet that was marked empty. A planet called Earth. A long time ago, it was said that a race lived there, but then they vanished. Nothing was heard from Earth in many years. Now this signal, he asked to send a team to see. The council agreed. They sent a small ship with 6 scouts, who were trained, brave, and full of pride. They landed near a place that looked like a dead city. Broken buildings, rusted metal, dust, and ash. No lights, no power, but there was something strange. No animal sounds, no wind. Only silence. Scout Maya, the team's tech expert, tried to scan the area. Her tools showed old energy marks, things she could not understand. Her hands shook a little. She said the place was not right. The leader of the team, Zarn, told her to keep working. The rest moved through the ruins. They saw signs of great war, black marks on stone, holes in walls, melted steel. But also strange things. Drawings of machines they did not know. Words in a language none could read. Then one scout disappeared. His name was Nor. He was just gone. No sound, no call, no trace. They searched but found nothing. A second scout vanished the next day. Her name was Lena. She'd been close to the ship. No one saw her go. Only a scream in the dark. Now, the team was afraid. Zarn called for help, but the signal was blocked. Something was watching. Something was near. Maya told Zarn that she picked up something strange. A heat mark. Not from an alien, but from a human. Zarn did not believe her. He said humans were gone. They were only stories. A myth told to scare children. But Maya said the scan was real. They tried to leave, but the ship would not start. The power was cut. Wires were missing. Zarn ordered the team to stay close. But at night, more were taken. Only Maya and one more scout, Bran, were left. They ran to the center of the city, hoping to hide. There they saw a wall. On it was a drawing of a man. Simple lines, but strong. Under it a word, human, Maya cried. Bran shook. Then the shadows moved. A shape stepped out, not alien, not machine, a person, tall, covered in dark armor. The eyes glowed red. He looked at them and spoke. His voice was deep, cold. He said they should not have come. He said this world was not lost. It was hidden. And now, it was awake. Maya begged to go. The man looked at her, then turned away. He let them go. They ran to the hills and sent one last message. Said only one thing. Humans are real. The council got the message days later. They played it in silence. Most laughed. They said it was fear. Ghosts of a forgotten world. But one old voice from the back of the hall spoke. He said he remembered, said he saw them once. He said the Deathworlders were not gone. They were waiting. And now they had returned. The message from Scout Maya reached the council and spread fast across space. Some leaders did not care. Some laughed. Some grew silent. A few took it seriously. Among them was old Elrond, a watcher from the planet Drell. He had seen many wars. He had seen planets fall. When he heard the word human, he did not laugh. He stood and said, "They are back, and they will not forget." On the far side of the galaxy, the signal from Earth grew stronger. It changed, like it was learning. It picked up alien words and copied them. It sent back short phrases, questions. Who sent help? Why so late? Do you remember us? The council grew afraid. They called for more scouts. This time they sent a battle group. 5 ships, trained crews. Heavy weapons? The group reached the edge of the solar system. Everything was calm. The stars looked the same. Earth looked quiet. They moved in slowly. Captain Drew led the team. He gave orders to scan, to watch, to not touch anything. Scans showed no cities, no ships, only ruins, but the energy signs were strong. Something was alive down there. They landed in a wide field outside what was once a human town. Broken cars, smashed buildings, and signs of fire were everywhere. Captain Drew and his second Lara stepped out with a team of 12. They moved carefully, weapons ready. No sound came. No wind, no birds, no life. Just the quiet crunch of boots on dry ground. As they reached the town's center, the ground shook. A deep hum filled the air. Lights flickered from a tall building. Then, a voice spoke from the sky. Clear, sharp, and human. It said, "This is not your world. Leave now." The team froze. Lara asked who was speaking. There was no answer, just silence. Then, from the shadows, 5 figures stepped out. All wore dark suits, faces covered. Each one held a strange weapon, not like alien guns. These looked old, patched, but powerful. One of the humans stepped forward. He removed his helmet. His face was rough, with lines of age and battle. His name was Jack. He looked at Drew and said, "We gave you time. We watched. We waited. But the galaxy forgot us. Now we remember everything." Drew asked what they wanted. Jack looked around and said, "Balance. The galaxy left Earth to burn. I'll make sure no one else does that to others." Suddenly, ships rose from behind the hills. Human ships. It's not shiny or smooth. Rough, built from scraps, but fast and strong. They circled the alien craft above. Drew tried to speak again, but Jack turned his back. He walked away. His team followed. Within minutes, the humans were gone. Not a trace, not even a footprint. Drew returned to his ship and sent a message to the council. It said, "They are not lost. They are not weak. They have returned, and they remember." The council sat in fear. Worlds began to whisper. Old tales of humans rose again. Stories of how they survived when no one else could. How they fought with fire and stone and still won. Now they had machines. They had plans. And they had not forgotten what was done to them. On a nearby moon, a small team of aliens set up a base. They watched Earth. They tried to listen. One night, a young alien named Veer heard a voice in the dark. He turned and saw a human girl standing behind him. Her name was Claire. She said nothing at first, just looked at the stars, and she said, "We don't hate you, but we don't trust you. Not yet." Veer asked why they stayed hidden so long. She said, "Because we had to grow. We had to learn. And now we're ready." Before Veer could say more, she was gone. Just like that, the base searched but found nothing. Only her footprints, leading to the edge of a cliff, then stopping. The galaxy now knew. The Deathworlders were not a myth. They were real. They had waited in the shadows. And now they were stepping into the light. No one knew what they would do next, but all knew one thing. Nothing would be the same again. The galaxy grew tense. Talks between planets became colder. Some species started to prepare for war. Others tried to make peace, but all kept watching Earth. No one dared to go near it again, not after what happened to the last team. Still, news kept coming. Strange events, secret sightings, broken codes, and one thing was always the same. The humans were moving. Far from Earth, in the belt of broken moons, a trade ship called the Sky Wanderer stopped responding. Rescue crews sent to find it saw signs of damage, but no battle. Inside, they found a message painted on the wall. It said, "We take only what is needed. Stay out of the dark." On a station near the edge of known space, a group of smugglers were found tied up and alive, but afraid. They spoke of a man named Oliver. He came from the shadows. He moved fast. He used tools none had seen. He asked questions, took files, and left. No blood, no fire, just fear. Rumors spread about others too. A woman named Megan who could break into any system. A fighter named Nate who could take down armed guards without killing them. A scout named Claire who left no trail but always found the truth. They were real names, not myths. The Deathworlders were now part of the galaxy again. The council held secret meetings. They argued about what to do. Some wanted to reach out, offer peace. Others wanted to build armies. But no one had seen a human army. Only small teams, quiet and fast. And each time they came, something changed. Corrupt leaders vanished. Pirate bases went silent. Slave ships were found empty and burned. On a cold planet called Norris, a mining colony was about to fall. Machines were failing. Food was low. Storms were strong. No help came from the council. Then, one day, a group of humans arrived. They fixed the water system. They shared supplies. They left without asking for anything. The miners never saw their faces, only their symbols. A circle with a line through it. A boy named Finn from the colony told the story to his teacher. He said the humans came like ghosts, but left hope behind. His words reached a reporter named Ella, who sent the story across space. Many saw it. Many felt something they had not felt in years. Respect. On a warship orbiting a dying star, a general named Rava stood with his officers. He had fought in many battles. Had never feared anyone. But now he watched the screens in silence. A human signal had entered their system. It moved fast. It was too fast for their ships to catch. Then it was gone. No harm done. Just a message left behind. It said, "We are watching." Rava knew this was not a threat. It was a warning. The humans were not trying to take over. They were not here for war. They were doing something else. Something hard to understand. They were shaping the galaxy without firing a shot. In deep space, two small human ships met in the dark. Inside, one ship was Jack. Inside the other was Claire. They talked in low voices. Jack said, "They still don't know who we are." Claire nodded. "They think we want revenge." Jack looked out the window. "We want balance, but we won't ask for it. We will make it." They made a plan to move next to a planet where a warlord ruled. The people there were suffering. No help was coming. The council called it a lost cause. But Jack and Claire did not believe in lost causes. The Deathworlders began to move faster. Every week a new story came. Some feared them. Some prayed for them. But no one could stop them. They were too smart, too fast, and too united. And the most powerful thing of all was this. They had no flag, no leader, no empire. They had each other. They had the will to fix what the galaxy broke. The message was clear now. The Deathworlders were not coming to destroy. They were here to remind the galaxy that the forgotten could rise, that the ones left behind could lead the way forward. On the planet Euron, the people lived in fear. For years, a warlord named Helvik ruled the cities, taxed the weak, crushed the poor, and silenced those who spoke against him. Council knew about it, but they did nothing. Euron had no rich metals, no ships, no power. It was not important to them. But the Deathworlders thought differently. One cold night, under a red sky, 3 human ships landed far from the main city. No lights, no sound. They moved like shadows. Inside the ships were 6 people. Jack led them. With him were Claire, Megan, Nate, Oliver, and Lara. They had a plan. First, Megan broke into the city's main network. It took her 10 minutes. She turned off the cameras, opened doors, and copied files. She smiled and said, "He has a lot to hide." Next, Nate and Oliver moved through the streets. They placed small charges at key points, not to destroy, but to block roads if needed. Lara watched from a tall building, her eyes tracking guards with a small scope. She whispered into her mic, 3 on the left, quiet, scared. Jack and Claire walked into the center of the city. They wore simple clothes, no weapons shown. They went straight to the gate of Helvik's tower. Guards stopped them. Jack raised his hands and said, "We have a message." The guards laughed. One tried to push Claire. She moved fast, grabbed his arm and twisted. He fell to the ground. The others stepped back. Jack said again, "Take us to your leader." They were brought to Helvik's hall. It was large and gold-covered, filled with stolen things. Helvik sat on a high seat, surrounded by soldiers. He was thick, with sharp eyes, looked at Jack and Claire and said, "You are not from here." "What do you want?" Jack said. "We want you to leave." Helvik laughed hard. "Leave. This is mine." "Who are you to ask that?" Claire stepped forward. "We are the ones you forgot, the ones you left to die. But we lived. Now we help those you hurt." Helvik stood and raised his hand. His guards moved in. But before they reached Jack and Claire, all lights went out. Darkness. Then red lights flashed. Megan's voice came from the walls. "We see you. We know what you've done." Screens lit up across the room. They showed Helvik's crimes, hidden rooms, broken laws on their screens, and walls on their screens and walls. The truth was out. Nate and Oliver blocked the gates. Lara gave the signal. Jack looked at Helvik. "You can run, or you can stay and face them." Helvik tried to run, but the people were waiting. They stopped him. The guards dropped their weapons. No one wanted to fight, not for him. By morning, the tower was empty. The people of Euron stood free. They did not cheer. They just stood in silence, trying to believe it. Jack and his team left as they came. Quiet, fast, without a trace. Only their mark remained. A symbol painted on the tower wall. A circle with a line through it. Stories of Euron spread fast. Planets once ignored began to hope. If the Deathworlders could help Euron, maybe they could help others too. But no one could find them. They chose where to go. They chose who to help. The council was divided. Some wanted to speak with the humans. Others feared them more with each act. They said they don't follow our rules. But others replied, maybe that's why they succeed. On a small ship, deep in space, Claire sat alone. She looked at a picture. It showed Earth, long ago, before the fall. Jack joined her and asked, "Do you think we'll ever go back?" Claire said, "Maybe when the galaxy is ready, we are done." Jack nodded. "We still have work to do." And so they moved on. From world to world, from silence to fire, the Deathworlders changed the galaxy. Not with war, not with power, but with will, truth, and action. They were not heroes. They were not rulers. They were reminders that even in the dark, someone will stand. Someone will remember. Someone will return. The galaxy was no longer the same. People spoke in quiet voices about Earth and the ones who came from it. Planets that once had no hope now looked to the stars with new eyes. The Deathworlders were not an army, but they brought change faster than any fleet. They did not take power, but power shifted around them. Their actions forced others to act. On the planet Celix, a group of young leaders met. They came from 10 different species. They spoke of justice, peace, and how to help their people. All of them had seen what the humans did. One of them, a girl named Riva, said, "They did what we could not. They reminded us how to care." The council tried to keep control. They made rules, sent messages, and warned worlds not to trust humans. But the words felt empty. People no longer listened to voices from high towers. They listened to those who walked with them in the dirt, those who fixed broken things without asking for gold or glory. In a deep cave on a desert moon, 2 humans sat by a fire. Nate sharpened a tool while Lara cleaned a datapad. Above them, the stars turned slowly. Lara asked, "How many more worlds do we help before they help each other?" Nate smiled. "Maybe one more, maybe 100. Doesn't matter, we keep going." On a cold station in orbit around a dead sun, Claire stood before a group of leaders. They had called her to speak. She did not wear a uniform. She wore old gear, marked by dust and time. She looked at each of them and said, "You forgot us long ago. But we did not forget what it means to fight for what is right. We are not here to take. We are here to remind you, galaxy can be better." One leader asked, "Who gave you the right?" Jack stepped forward. "No one. We gave it to ourselves." When no one else would, the room was silent. Then a voice from the back said, "Maybe we needed that." In hidden places, more humans began to appear. Teachers, builders, farmers, healers, not just fighters. They helped planets rebuild after war, taught people how to grow food, how to fix machines, how to lead. They did not stay. They moved on, leaving behind knowledge and hope. On Earth, the ruins grew green again. Trees broke through old stone. Rivers ran clean. A few families returned. They lived in small homes, close to the land. They did not speak of the past with hate. They spoke of the stars, of the ones still out there. Jack stood on a cliff and watched the sun rise. Claire joined him, said, "They will come here one day. The galaxy will want to see where we came from." Claire nodded. We'll welcome them, if they come in peace. On a far-off world, a child found a strange book. It told the story of Earth, of the time before the fall, of what came after. The child asked her father, "Were the humans real?" He looked at the stars and said, "They are out there. They never left." And across the galaxy, the symbol of the Deathworlders was known. Circle with a line through it. Simple, strong, like the ones who carried it. No one knew how many humans there were. No one knew where they would go next. But everyone knew what would follow them. Change. They came from a world that nearly ended. But they learned how to survive. They learned how to rise. And now, they showed others how to do the same. The Deathworlders did not shout. They did not rule. They acted. And in every act, they left behind something greater than fear. They left behind the memory of what it means to stand when no one else will. That was their gift to the galaxy. And the galaxy would never forget it.